Good morning and welcome to Saturday Morning Coaching. I'm your host, Coach Davis. Hey, all you people in the state of New York, welcome this morning. So glad you're part of this audience. Always a strong showing from New York. Really appreciate that. So let me set the stage for you. This week, I'm working with a group of people, all well off, all on a board of a nonprofit. Now, for those of you that don't know about nonprofits, these are organizations whose mission is to educate or inspire or help, basically to do good in the world. And as such, they are not taxed. The profits or the money they make doesn't get taxed by the government because we're trying to encourage people to do good in the world. Well, this nonprofit has a board, and the board's working through an issue. And what happened this week is such a dysfunctionality, and it's all driven through conflict. Today, we're going to talk about the curse in conflict. Are you ready? Star Power starts now. So let me set the stage. Somewhere along the line, all good people, all concerned about the mission of the organization, but somehow conflict found its way into their work, and it is now causing people to drop out, and it's taking people's mental energy off of productive ends and putting it on positioning and personal agendas and all this other organizational dysfunctionality. Now, when you start to look at conflict, there are two kinds of conflict that appear in an organization. One is called task conflict. The other is called relationship conflict. And both of these are worthy of our attention. Now, remember, when we talk about star power, it is a 5-point model designed to get you into action. And remember, if you don't have a copy of the Star Power model, go to myvaluetree.com and print off a copy. Put it on your refrigerator because this model helps us stay focused. It starts with my attitude. It's connected to my appearance, then my abilities, my associations, and ultimately accountability. And these 5 points get wrapped together to move me into action. So today, this topic of conflict is going to really focus on attitude and appearance and actually ability, because it's how I function in the organization, and associations and accountability. Amazingly enough, conflict touches all 5 points of our model. So task conflict. Task conflict is when you and I disagree about how we're going to do something. That's good conflict. We want debates about how we solve problems at work, right? Task conflict comes out of a place of caring, a place of conviction. It's about what we're doing and how we do it. And I want people in disagreement. Remember, conflict isn't bad. It just means differing opinions here. I want people to work through differences always with an eye to what's best for the customer, what's best for the organization, what's best for the people in the organization. Now, Thomas Kilmann did a lot of research on the subject of conflict, and they came up with a model that talks about how friendly or unfriendly I feel towards you and how important or unimportant an issue is. And against that matrix, there are 5 different types of processes I can engage in with conflict. I can compete, which is play to win. I can collaborate, which is we're going to spend time until we work it out. I can compromise. We can accommodate, and we can avoid. All of this is healthy. All of this is a good process for us to learn. But that's not what's happening with this group of people. Somewhere in this process, one of the members got pinged. And when I say pinged, that means that a hot button was pushed on them. Not intentionally by anyone. Nobody even knew the hot button existed. But this person got pinged. And when they got pinged, that means that the conflict went from task conflict to relationship conflict, which means it just got personal. See, when it gets personal, now we're moving into a state of dysfunctionality. Personal it's all about me. And this is the craziness in our heads. Nobody set out to ping this person. It's how they interpreted something someone else did. And the minute they got pinged, it kicks in this set of assumptions about other people and judgment. Now, all of this is grounded in the fantasy in my head. In a rational space, a person would say to the other one, "Did you really mean to say that to me?" And we'd work it out. No, I'm so sorry. That's not what I was even trying to say. But when I get pinged, I actually move from critical thinking to emotional thinking is what happens. Now, Chris Argyris, he was a professor emeritus at Harvard for years until his death in 2013. And he's actually attributed as one of the founders, thought leaders of learning organizations. And one of his concepts to describe this phenomena is called the Ladder of Inference. Look, we're collecting data all the time as we interface with the world. And some of that data I choose to focus my attention on. And then I add meaning to it. That's all about me. I'm putting meaning to what I'm seeing happen. And then on top of that meaning, I start to draw conclusions, and I start to behave in accordance with those conclusions. It's a ladder of inference. Well, this one individual must have gone all the way up the ladder of inference, because all of a sudden they're doing incredibly non-productive things. Now, two things have happened now. One, they've harmed the group because of they're working out their anger in incredibly dysfunctional and political ways. And it's causing a whole second tier of discussions going on. And now you get the process itself and the task they have to do, that is actually fallen apart. So the group's really struggling keeping their eyes on the ball. And second, this person now has kind of isolated themselves from the group, and they're actually creating a reputation of it's an unproductive reputation for them, right? They're recalcitrant, they're argumentative, they're divisive. None of those words are good reputation to have if you're working with a group of people. So let me give you an example. Years ago, I was working a lot of union management work, and we were redesigning jobs and job descriptions, and I was leading a joint union management work group. Well, one of the guys in the group, the hallway chatter was, "Oh, Bob, he's just an old curmudgeon. He's really difficult to work with. They stuck him on the committee just to drag it down and delay things." And add to it, Bob was a big guy. I mean, he was physically intimidating. And he was an obstructionist, and he was tough to have in the room. But as we started to peel back the layers slowly over the weeks and months, come to find out the reason Bob's attitude and his physical demeanor were so, argumentative was because 15 years ago, his supervisor had given a promotion opportunity to a person junior to Bob. And he's been carrying around that wrong, that injustice, for 15 years. And that was influencing everything we did. It wasn't until I recognized that fact and spoke the words to Bob of, "Gosh, you must have felt slighted," that we were able to finally resolve all of that angst and get into a productive place. Folks, when you feel conflict starting to become personal, let me tell you something. It's all about you. No one else even knows it's happening in your head because it's something unique to you. Getting pinged. Man, it's not, the things that ping us are things like competence, respect, approval, security, None of these are bad words, but when I feel like you don't accept me or you don't approve of me or you're saying I'm incompetent, I just got pinged. And everything after that now has moved into relationship conflict. Oh my goodness, friends, it is so destructive and it is so unproductive. Look, I'm available to help you think through stuff. You can always reach out. Go to myvaluetree.com. There's a button right on top says, let's talk. Click it. Shoot me an email. Love to help you through these things. The days and the weeks are stressful enough with all that's going on around us in the world. Last thing we need is relationship conflict in our life. So, any rate, be positive, be alert, be aware of conflict and how you're relating to it. This is a great day on Coach Davis.